Renueva tu estilo de otoño en JCPenney. Descubre grandes ofertas en modelos versátiles que puedes combinar con piezas tuyas, como un blazer y pantalón de pierna ancha Worthington con tu blusa favorita, o un suavecito suéter St. John's Bay con tu camiseta preferida. Y combina una chaqueta Stafford con uno de los clásicos en tu closet. Con un par de piezas versátiles puedes crear múltiples looks únicos y extraordinarios. Eleva tu estilo de otoño y ahorra. JCPenney. Vale la pena.
How can there be a cost of living crisis? I can afford to pay £800 for shoes. Explain that, lefties. I'm Harriet Langley-Swindon, and this is Non-Censored. This week, we recorded a live show at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, but we have another live show on the 10th of September as part of the London Podcast Festival. Tickets are available from kingsplace.co.uk. Next week, we'll be back to a normal episode, but for now, please enjoy Non-Censored Live. Thank you. My silent majority. Welcome to this very special live recording of Non-Censored, the show where you can say what you like, when you like, where you like, who you like, how you like, if you like, on you like, who you like. Now, how many people do we have here today who are fans of the podcast? Give me a cheer if you listen to the podcast. Three people.
Literally three people.
Three people listen to the podcast. Do you not listen to the podcast?
Do you have a phone?
Do you have a phone on you?
Get it out. We're going to do it now. Come on, Spotify. Come on. You got Spotify on it, haven't you? Right. Very good. Open it. I can't open it, can I?
It's your phone.
Get onto it. Listen. I'm going to talk you through it.
And
get onto Spotify.
You guys, you listen to the podcast, get out your phones. Get out your phones. Subscribe.
That's it. You're on Spotify. What is this? You don't even have any apps. Is this a joke phone?
What is that? That's just one strange gallery.
It's a gallery. Don't click
pictures
it.
Of trees. Where did you
got
find
Spotify?
These people?
Just find Non-Censored. Yeah, I'm going to trust you on this. Non-Censored, and then hit subscribe.
Right.
And
type in
if you want
Non-Censored,
to rate it 5 stars,
Non-Censored,
then
subscribe.
Non-Censored. You've literally come to the show.
Give a 5-star review saying she shouted at us. We loved it. Yep. You? Do you listen to it? Subscribe now, everybody. Subscribe.
You can
this is
do
what
it.
It is. It's a hostage situation. You can't leave. You've paid tickets. This is unbelievable. Where did you get these people?
I just put out the feelers. I don't know who they are.
Right, well, to explain to you, if you don't know what the podcast is, it takes the best bits from my very famous and not at all fictional radio show of the week and just all the news, isn't it? We have interviews, but today it's all happening here. It's all live. And it's wonderful. It's the kind of show where we just tell the truth. We just tell the truth without fear, because I'm sure a lot of people here are scared of the woke left. You, sir, you look someone who's kind of cowed by the woke left. Do you find this? Ooh. Yes. Terrified.
You sounded scared.
Terrified. Really, really quite scary. You're scared of us, and you should be. That's great. In the back, do you feel scared about the woke left? Yes, they can't speak, Martin. They're so
scared,
afraid.
silent.
Oh, terrified.
Yeah.
Oh, really, really awful. Well, we have a wonderful show. We've got some wonderful guests. We have... a bit later, we have the Culture Secretary herself. And for fans of the podcast, you'll know her as our sex and relationships expert, Nadine Dorries, who will be coming on later. Yes, thank you. But first, for the 3 listeners in the room, you'll be very excited to know that we have, of course, got he comes on a lot, doesn't he, Martin? To the studio.
Oh, Eshaan.
With his wit and wisdom. Yes. It's Eshaan Akbar, our diversity hire. Please welcome correspondent. Thank you. No, you sit on that chair. Welcome back to the show.
It's lovely to be back.
Yes, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling very well, spiffing. I've got a lovely beer.
Yes.
It's very, very nice. Don't tell my Muslim father.
We don't talk to him.
He doesn't talk to me either.
Now, for those of you who don't listen to the show, Eshaan comes on. He comes on as part of two programmes we have. Is It Woke? Where we talk about, as you know, the woke left taking over, and they're encroaching on more and more things. Like we talk about, this gin and tonic. Is it woke? Yes, is the answer to that. We also listen to Eshaan's hot and spicy takeaway of the week.
I didn't call it that. I don't think it should be called that, personally.
It's too late because it's stuck now.
We've written it down. It's been.
I feel like we can call it something else. Hot and spicy takeaway. When for the listeners who are presuming that I am very white and English, I'm actually a brown man. And hot and spicy
some gasps
takeaway.
there. They didn't know.
Yes. Sorry. I haven't just browned up for the occasion.
I think you'll find most people here don't see race.
Yeah.
Eshaan,
that's fantastic. Well done, all of you. Thank you for ignoring all of my pain.
Well, pain is woke, so the best thing is to do is ignore it.
But we're still calling it hot and spicy takeaway of the week.
We are. Eshaan, if you've got a hot and spicy takeaway of the week.
I do have a hot and spicy takeaway of the week. As any Edinburgh Fringe goers who and people who read news would have heard that a certain Jerry Sadowitz was cancelled. Jerry Sadowitz had his show cancelled because he did a little thing of getting his willy out in a show. And he said some horrible things about all sorts of ethnic minorities. And here's what I've realised. My hot and spicy takeaway of the week is this. Getting cancelled is woke.
Oh.
Because what happens is, and if you've listened to any episode before, you'll know that I have posited that the Edinburgh Fringe Festival is the home of arch capitalists like all of you. All of you disgusting arch capitalists, anybody who performs here. Because what happens is when you get cancelled, what happens is people want to know what you've done. So people buy more tickets to your shows. So Jerry Sadowitz got his cock out, and everybody was like, "Oh, who's this Jerry Sadowitz fella? I want to buy tickets to see what he's done."
Oh, my goodness.
Jerry Sadowitz is now more rich after the event than he was before.
Oh, my
And I've realised that more and more people go out of their way to try and get cancelled by saying horrible things about all sorts of ethnic minorities and whatever.
So are you saying that Lawrence Fox is the wokest of the woke?
Oh, my goodness gracious. Absolutely. Lawrence doesn't even realise it. He is so woke, he will make sure he doesn't get any actual acting work ever again, but he gets more work doing radio and other shit like that and makes more money. Lawrence Fox is richer now than when he was an actor. What does that tell you?
He's woke. He plays music. I don't know if any Lawrence Fox music fans in the room.
Any Lawrence Fox music fans?
Music fans? He sang this really beautiful song about being
there
cancelled.
he is.
There's Lawrence Fox, everybody. Yeah.
as for any of the listeners at home, that wasn't Lawrence Fox. It's not him.
So yes, that's my hot and spicy takeaway of the week. That getting cancelled is actually woke, and I think more and more quote-unquote left-wing people, you'll find them saying more objectionable things just because ultimately left-wing people tend to be quite poor and smelly. And
no, it's true.
it is true. They don't shower, they don't shave. It is disgusting, and they will continue to do more cancelable things because they know that's the only way to survive. And this country, ultimately, like all the people in it, are arch capitalists. That's where we're at.
Yeah, I've got to say, Eshaan, I usually at this point will disagree with you, but the web of woke has become so complicated now that I don't truly know. So if Lawrence Fox is woke, is Greta Thunberg not woke?
Greta Thunberg is not woke. Is that right?
Therefore, she's
she's also
Greta Thunberg
woke.
is woke because
She is woke. She wears plaits.
hadn't noticed now.
She's also not woke though. Really, you think she's woke because she's talking about the climate, but she's definitely not woke because she doesn't really talk to any ethnic minorities about the real issues in climate change.
Well,
she just talks to other white people.
She went to Glastonbury. Oh.
Where? Well, the festival for white people. The White Refugee Festival. Really? She spoke at Glastonbury.
Come on, Eshaan, Glastonbury.
The Mecca for white people, Glastonbury.
I think,
go around the same tent 7 times because you're on acid.
But you're allowed in.
What?
No, I'm just saying that you people.
You people, what do you mean by you people?
I mean you.
Do you see what happens?
People.
See, this is what happens. People present themselves as quite liberal, but it doesn't take long for them to start othering you. Oh, God, Jane would never do this to me.
Oh, let's not talk about Jane.
I don't want to hear about Jane anymore. For those of you who don't know, Jane is my sister, and she's married to Martin.
Fit.
She does not have to come up in this podcast.
I cannot believe she's married to Martin.
Other one. It's time to bring in our next guest. Yes, it is. Please bring your hands together for our sex and relationships expert and your culture secretary, Nadine Dorries. Thank you. There she is. Oh, Nadine, welcome to the show. Please sit down. Oh, Nadine. Oh, what an absolute privilege.
Clapping is quite woke, to be fair.
It's not your section now.
Sorry.
All right? We have an actual celebrity in here.
Hello.
Now, I don't want you all to get very excited, but Nadine is going to read an exclusive extract from her latest novel, Front Bench Woman.
His Front Bench Woman.
His Front
Yes.
Bench Woman. And I don't think anyone's heard this before, have they?
No, this is brand new, and it's chapter 3 from His Front Bench Woman. It's my new erotic political thriller. I'm your culture secretary. Open the fridge. What's that? On the cheese. It's culture.
That's really great. Thank you.
So, His Front Bench Woman, any resemblance to anybody living or dead is purely coincidental. Okay. Chapter 3, PMQs. Glass ceiling smasher Naomi Forrest slid into the House of Commons, and as always, every male eye was on her. Women hated her and men loved her, but secretly because of the women. She poured her fabulous curves into the front bench, where she was Minister for Fashion and Classiness, and awaited the arrival of the Prime Minister, like everybody else, apart from the Wokerati Labour Party and the nationalistics of the SNP and the 4 Lib Dems and the Green Lady and most of the Conservative backbench. In he strode, his shock of pale golden hair so similar to her own. Nobody knows that just last night I had a bird's eye view of that head. Delicious Naomi. In her mind, not out loud. She sexily recalled how a flash of his glorious pink scalp had briefly glinted in the candlelight of her luscious bedroom. Lord Fear Karma, the dreadful leader of the opposition, stood and whined his first question. Would you kick a dog, Prime Minister? The Labour Party roared with approval like a crowd. I'd like to tell the right honourable gentleman that I would never kick a dog, unlike you, Captain Dogshite. Hit back the Prime Minister, leaving former QC Lord Karma totally flustered and dropping his notes like a clumsy dick. Naomi felt a quiver in her cervical region at this magnificent victory. Just then, Naomi sensed cronish disapproval behind her and turned to see former Prime Minister Theresa June staring daggers at her. Theresa was now a hero to the centrists because she wore a ball gown to a vote. But now, she was seething. Naomi hissed at Theresa, but Theresa couldn't hiss back because she was wearing a mask. Naomi had just covered Theresa in COVID, and it felt fantastic. Turning back, Naomi caught the Prime Minister's eye and he winked at her erotically. She was his front bench woman and she couldn't wait to welcome her into her rear office later.
Oh, wow. That was wonderful.
Wow. So much talent, so talented.
Thank you.
So talented.
Thank you,
Nadine,
Igor.
where can people buy that book?
It's available at The Works.
Wonderful. It's so moving and so erotic.
I know, everyone's stuck to their seats. That's just some bawdy humour. It's culture.
Yeah. Are the characters, I feel like they're based on people.
That's purely coincidental, Harriet.
Wow, and the heroine. Tell us about the heroine.
She's just like the mecca for all men, and women hate her and idolise her, and I invented her in my mind.
Wow, I think I speak for everyone when I say that I'm so glad that you're in charge of our culture.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Me too.
You're welcome, Igor.
It's Eshaan. It's Eshaan.
Sorry.
Eshaan.
Bless you. Are you from Channel 4?
Sorry, if I don't know who we can speak to, but if they are from Channel 4, they do have to leave. They do. We do have to get them out.
Disgusting.
No.
We literally can't afford to lose any audience members, so I think we're going to have to...
Okay, Channel 4 can stay.
Right, okay.
If they behave.
For now.
Now, we are, of course, at the Culture, the Arts Festival, the Edinburgh Fringe.
Yes. And I brought my fringe.
Yes, you've brought your fringe to the Fringe.
Yes.
Now, also going on is the Literary Festival. Now, many of you will be shocked to hear this, but Nadine was not invited to the Literary Festival. Yeah. Is literary woke?
Literary?
Do you mean books? Do you mean
Literature.
books woke? Is that
I
what you're
mean-
looking for?
I mean,
I feel like you're slightly intimidated by her here.
Eshaan, don't pull that thread.
sorry, what?
I'm just... It's very unlike you to get the word literary and literature and books mixed up. I feel like you're just slightly intimidated by her raw sexual appeal.
No. Me and Nadine are good friends.
Yes.
I'm not intimidated by her.
But I do...
No, listen.
Yes.
Listen to me, I'm still talking.
Yes.
Literary is just another word for books, which I think is true.
I can
Yes.
change the Wikipedia.
You know how-
I can get on it.
You know how every group of female friends, they have one very attractive woman and the rest of them are ugly?
Sorry, where is this going?
The impression I get from this, as someone who observes the world around me,
Right.
is that Nadine here is very much the beautiful...
Yes.
Sorry, Eshaan, you're our diversity correspondent.
Yes.
You're not our who's more attractive correspondent.
Although this might fall under the remit of a hot and spicy takeaway. In his defence.
Thank you, Martin. It's very rare for us to agree.
Yeah, I know. It feels
Can
weird.
I say something at this junction? Literary just means something is happening. For example, I am literary here.
Well, Nadine, there's many different
That's-
meanings to
yes,
literary.
I'm-
That's
It can
it.
mean I am here. It
This
can
is-
mean a book. It can mean Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
It certainly does.
It can mean Harry Potter.
I'm very-
It can mean.
How long is this
Tess
list
and the
gonna go on?
D'Urbervilles.
I just feel
it
that-
can mean
We are pushing for time. So
the Hungry Caterpillar.
Harriet, if you could just finish the thought.
Right, that's finished. No, that's finished.
Okay.
That's finished. Are books woke?
Ordinarily, I would say no. But the fact is, I was not invited to the literary festival that's happening. It's about books. And I was not invited, so maybe books are woke.
Yes.
I agriculture with Nadine here. I think books are absolutely woke, as you would have seen most recently. Salman Rushdie, who once wrote a book, got attacked.
Do you think Nadine not being invited to the literary festival is the same as Salman
Yes.
Rushdie getting?
Yes.
Yeah.
Worse, it's worse. It's much worse
Yeah.
because I'm the Secretary of
Yeah.
Culture and Medias. What are medias?
Yes.
And I really, really want to find out.
I think
so.
That's a very good question.
I think Nadine not being invited to the literary book festival is significantly worse than Salman Rushdie being stabbed in the neck.
Thank you. Finally, someone not afraid to say it.
I am feeling very awkward at the moment.
What a surprise!
It's okay, it's a safe space, Martin.
Yes.
He can say that here.
does
No one will judge him.
feel
They've
safe.
already left the room.
That's true. That's true.
Though I am judging you,
Why?
actually, Eshaan. Just on other things.
Well, frankly, I'm also judging you because I've just realised that actually, although you present yourself as the most alpha person on this particular radio show, Nadine has shown really what an alpha woman looks like. And
Wow.
They look like this. That's
Wow.
They literally look like this.
Wow.
they do literally look like this.
Nadine, I don't want to disrespect you. You are our culture secretary. You also have written 76 million books.
Yeah.
But
I've sold 50 million.
and you've got a
works.
very
Check
important
the works.
hobby as culture secretary.
I love what I do. It's nice to give back. But my main passion is writing my books about things that happened. He'll leave her in the end. He'll leave her in the end. She'll never be me.
She is erudite. She's our culture secretary.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see that.
I'm not erudite. I am on the ground.
And as someone of culture, myself, I'm a cultural person.
Right.
I'm very honoured to be represented by you. May I just take this opportunity to say that to you?
Thank you, Igor. Thanks.
Do we have any audience questions for our culture secretary? It's not every day you get to ask her a question. Can we get
I
anything?
dare you. I dare you.
We don't have anyone to run out with the microphone like in question time, so you will just have to speak up. Yes? Do you own a computer?
Do I own a computer? What do you think? I have a government office in the Houses of Commons. And it's the year 2092. So I think it's pretty obvious that I know what a computer does. They are for running things. And somebody needs to do something about the algorithms.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Any more questions for our culture secretary?
What is culture?
What is culture?
I'm going to make 3 billion quid off you, Channel 4, and then you won't get to ask your stupid questions anymore, will you? You won't get to open your big mouth and say, ooh, how many different milks do you want? We've got 9. Some of them are from a tree, some of them are from a cow, but the cow one's cancelled with Channel 4. It will all be sold, and I will spend the money on literary whatever I like.
She knows her
Hair
culture.
clips.
Yeah, it's a hot scoop right
She knows her
there.
culture.
You know, don't ask me to define something if it's just a stupid question, so it's basic biology.
Well, that told Channel 4.
Nadine, why didn't you run for Prime Minister?
Because we already had a very good Prime Minister. I believe you know his name. It's Boris Johnson. And I am his platonic friend, which means that I orbit around him like a platonic. He has a wife for wifely duties. She'll never be me. We already have one. We've got one already. I'm going to start a petition, change.org. Keep Boris as our Prime Minister. He's doing a great job and he deserves a lovely holiday at least once a week.
Well, also, Nadine, I don't know if you've read this, but the Conservative members at the moment, they want Boris back. He's their number one choice.
Did you know that is all the Conservative members make up nearly 200,000 people? That's right. That's quite a lot, isn't it? That's one Conservative member for every person in this country who's died of COVID. So anyone who says that not many people are deciding the fate of the next Prime Minister of this country, they're wrong, aren't they? Because it's actually quite a lot of people. So egg on your face, wokerati. You.
Do we have many Conservatives in the room? So all of you, 80%? Give me a cheer if you're Conservative.
I'm not sure we can ask them that.
Why?
I don't think we can make people reveal their voting intentions.
Why not?
Well,
That's how it works.
Yeah, you constantly bang on about it, didn't you?
Well, no, I don't like to reveal which way I vote. I
think it's very clear.
I tend to sit, there's a lot of people say a lot of bad things about sitting on the fence. I think you get a good view from up there, and, there's a lot of good points on both sides.
As well.
Like that bit in Cape Fear. When he wanted to look at the fireworks, didn't he? That's culture. It's a movie.
It's so great that we have you on the panel.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I think Nadine is amazing.
So do I.
She is amazing. She is amazing. I know, and I'm not afraid to say that.
Good for you.
Because I respect her. I respect powerful women.
Yes.
Nadine, Margaret Thatcher, me, done.
Queen Elizabeth Part 1, Queen Elizabeth Part 2.
Polly Pocket.
Rose West.
Polly Pocket. No, Eshaan.
Rose West didn't do a thing. She didn't lift a finger with those
Probably the
patios.
best female serial killer ever in history. Thank you very much.
Disagree. I think that Eileen Wuornos was much better.
This podcast is getting increasingly difficult to edit. I'm going to suggest that maybe we do any sort of final checks and then...
Final checks from the audience.
Yes. Is there anyone here that has anything else that they would like to say? Or so...
Share, this is a safe space.
No. Well, that's all the big questions, isn't it? What's culture and whatever the hell other people ask.
We got some good questions, Martin.
Good.
It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone's very intimidated because we have the actual culture secretary in the room and me.
You never know what she's going to privatise next.
What have you got?
So, if that's all, I think it's about time that we
wrap this up.
Yes.
Everybody, thank you so much. You've been absolutely delightful.
Fine.
Delightful.
Fine.
You're literally wonderful.
Thank you. Please give it up for our wonderful panel guest, Eshaan Akbar. Culture Secretary Nadine Dorries.
Next time on a very spooky fine dining podcast, the season 1 finale, TGI Fridays the 13th. Oh, you betcha, pineapple's gonna hit the fan as Michael's son Juicy, or in this episode, Juice son Voorhees, goes on a murderous rampage, and no one is safe. It gets real spooky, it gets real bloody, and not everyone's gonna make it to the end of the episode. Who will live, who will die? Listen to Fine Dining, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America, break down a trip to TGI Fridays based on the atmosphere, the service, and the food, and try not to be scared to death. Hear the thrilling finale of Fine Dining, Wednesday, October 25th, wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to the stage. We have he's a wonderful comedian. He plays pranks. He's like Dapper Laughs, but for Guardian readers. So please welcome to the panel Simon Brodkin. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, there. Sit there, not there. Hi.
Thank you, Harriet. It's great to be here.
Thank you
so
for
nice
coming.
to be somewhere I can finally speak open,
Yes.
uncensored. You can't say anything these days.
You can't say anything these days.
I mean, that's not quite true. You can say what you like, but
No, you
it
can't.
feels that way.
It feels
sometimes.
and it is that
to you.
way. To all of us.
Yes.
You feel like you can't say anything.
Oh, there's all sorts of words I don't know how to say.
Why are you wearing pink like me? Pink is my colour.
Well, I just thought we were twinsies. Twinning? Is that...
It's horrible. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm sorry, Simon. Yeah, I want you to this to be clear. This is a safe space. So, Simon, you can say whatever you feel like.
Thank goodness
You're
for that.
allowed.
Thank goodness for that.
Yes, there's no horrible, I don't know, bloggers or Guardian readers or Owen Joneses in the audience tonight. None of them are going to get in the way of our interview.
No, I mean, there's not many of them, so the chance of him...
Yes, I don't really understand what happened there. We've got one actual podcast listener and just a lot of confused people hiding from the woke left in this round tent. Okay. So now, you're a character comic.
Well, that is one of the strings to my bow, Harriet. Yes,
right, so
I'm also doing
many strings.
I have many strings. I'm doing a straight stand-up show at the Fringe as myself, Simon Brodkin. Screwed up
as yourself.
9:40 in the cabaret bar every night. Got to whack that in.
One fan.
One person.
Fan. One fan. Will you go? Will you go to it? Yeah.
Amazing.
He's going to go. He is going to go to the show.
When someone can't even pretend that they're going.
Those are my favourite people. Honest people. Honest people. So it's just straight stand-ups. You don't do characters anymore. Did they get cancelled?
Everything's getting cancelled,
yes.
Of course. I mean, like, nothing has got cancelled, but I know how it feels sometimes. No, none of them were cancelled. It's just a foray into a new world of stepping away from the characters, moving away from Lee Nelson, Jason
Lee Nelson is another person who's very like you.
Lee Nelson was an alter ego, Harriet.
Oh, right. So one of your characters.
Something you may know nothing about yourself.
No.
But yes, so I stepped into a character, and then you find that you can actually, espouse some opinions that don't necessarily belong to you. You should try it.
I don't know anything about that. Now, Simon, you single-handedly, I don't know how many of you are aware of this, he single-handedly brought down Theresa May. He handed her P45 at a Conservative Party conference. Is that right, isn't it?
That is correct, Harriet. I did so.
You brought her down.
Are you
happy with what happened next?
And the lettering that was cascading off the wall behind her, plus her cough that sort of brought, plus a lot of her policies. To be fair, it wasn't just me. But yes, I actually do regret doing that stunt. Had I known what was to follow, I would have handed her a motivational quote.
And you gave Boris Johnson a thumbs up.
I did. I slapped his thigh, and in character as my Tory boy, and said, "Great work, Boris. It's gone exactly to plan."
You gave him the encouragement he needed.
He had signed the P45 that was handed to Theresa that she so gracefully took, and I thought I'd be booted out, but I was just gently lowered back into the... I think they were just as desperate for numbers as we are this evening. Yes, and then Boris did go on to do one or two things. The rest is history, about to be.
Can we all just give a quick round of applause to Simon, who is the reason we got Boris Johnson as Prime Minister. So, thank you for that. Really helpful. Sorry, did someone boo?
I think it was ironic booing. Just carry on.
Ironic booing?
Yeah.
No booing, okay? No booing. This is a safe space.
Oh, you'll be pleased to know, after Boris Johnson had his little encounter with me, he described me as a stupid tosser. Which, from one tosser to another, it felt like a bonding moment.
I think that's beautiful.
I'd like to think he's gone on to out-toss me over the past couple of years.
He's done a lot of tossing, but in a really wonderful, charming way, I think.
Yes.
Really, just tossing in like a salad. Like a sexy...
Yes, it's quite a disturbing
white,
bit of imagery there, isn't it?
Large salad. So, also, in...
You're about to toss Boris Johnson as well.
Well, you know, look, I'm just saying if you give me the right implements. So, Simon, in 2015, you gate-crashed a football press conference. You threw $600 over the FIFA president, saying that the money was part of a bid to North Korea. But this year, in 2022 World Cup, it's gone to Qatar.
Yes.
So you must be quite happy with that.
Who would have foreseen the corruption at the heart of that organisation? Yes, I did. I was in character as Jason Bent, my preening, over-wealthy Premier League footballer, and he was the ambassador for North Korea's unsuccessful 2026 World Cup bid and handed Sepp, the head of FIFA, all the money that was remaining for the bid to go through, and nothing happened to him, and I went to prison.
How long did you go to prison for?
I was there a few days.
Do you think it should have been longer?
By well, everyone should be punished more, shouldn't they,
Yes.
Harriet? It's a disgrace. No, I got a criminal record, you'll be pleased to know.
Yeah, I'm pleased to know. That's very important. I think this person who booed earlier should get a criminal record, actually.
I don't think we can start doing
No, I think we can start doing... I don't know if you've heard, but the government are cracking down on protest. And you're next, booer. Wherever you are, you're next. Anyway...
I think you've genuinely scared a couple of people there.
Good. You should be scared of the law and the government. Producer Martin, do we have any fact checks?
I did want to mention that you obviously, famously, as you brought up, interrupted many a famous person, and I was wondering if you could use your powers for good. Because arguably a lot of the things that you did led to something worse happening. So I've thought up a few different people that you could interrupt, and perhaps you could just tell me what you think about them. So first of all, I thought this is somewhat of a time-sensitive one. It would require some time travel. But interrupting Nasty Nick in the Big Brother house in the year 2000.
He was lovely.
Is that something you might think about?
Well,
just before he was,
I don't know.
Too mean.
When people are that evil, you've got to just maybe take a step back and think it's too dangerous a territory.
Okay, that's fair enough. Next up, we've got Cyril Sneer, the animated, what was he? Kind of elephant creature from the Raccoons.
What kind of question
familiar?
is that?
I've never heard of Cyril. I think I speak on behalf of most people here.
Probably best, Simon. Is pretty mean. And finally, do you think, this is one that you could do, actually, now, do you think you might interrupt the comedian Matt Ford once he's been asked whether he likes having babies in the audience?
Yeah, he's clearly an unhinged, dangerous, left-wing lunatic, and and I think that baby story, I believe he tried to kill that baby.
I don't blame him. We didn't allow it. They wanted to fill those empty seats with babies, all of them, and I said, no, we are not having 6 babies. We're not having 6 babies unaccompanied. Sitting.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Wholly
People
irresponsible.
Breastfeeding, all sorts of unnatural things.
Giving birth in the aisles?
Yeah.
No, not here, no. Now, Simon, before you go, is there anything you'd like to plug, talk about, mention? Also, this, as we've established, is a safe space. If you feel there's anything you want to get off your chest that you wouldn't be able to elsewhere because you would be castrated by the woke left, now's your chance.
I'm grateful for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
To finally be able to say what we think.
Yep.
No, I've just got my eyes maybe on my next prank after Matt Ford. I think I'm going to go for Putin.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think he'll have a great sense of humour, don't you?
Yes, he's lost his way.
You've got me, Brodkin. Hilarious. Very funny, pretending to be the male escort I ordered. Brilliant. Now come, have a cup of special tea and some perfume from Salisbury.
Well, Simon, thank you very much for joining us.
My absolute pleasure, Harriet. It's been a charming and interesting and enlightening experience. Thank you for having me on your show.
You're very welcome.
Cheers.
Simon Brodkin, everybody. You can leave now. You can go. This episode was recorded as part of the Later at Paines Plough Roundabout. We're back next week with a regular episode. And don't forget to get your tickets to the live show on the 10th of September in London from kingsplace.co.uk. Thank you to Rosie Holt, Brendan Murphy, Eshaan Akbar, Suze Kempner, Simon Brodkin and Ed Morrish. Until next week, goodbye.